In this week's episode, let's try and look at what has been happening or brewing in Telangana while the pandemic has been raging across the country. Now, a lot has happened ever since Eatala Rajender's exit from the TRS party. Now, what exactly happened and what led to his exit, and where political parties lie or stand right now in Telangana's political landscape is something we look at. There are questions on what exactly led to this rivalry between Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao and its key leader Eatala Rajender, who was the former finance minister in Telangana government. Now, it is believed that the battle started some time ago, especially when Rajender was vocal about his criticism of KCR's pet scheme, which is the Raitu Bandhu scheme. Later, it is also believed that Eatala Rajender had leaked information to media on the changes that were upcoming in the Revenue Act. Apparently, this ticked off the TRS bosses. Not just that, but what happened was, to put a check to Eatala in the process, KCR decided to bring his arch rival Gangula Kamalakar into the TRS. While that sent Eatala clear signals to show who the boss is in TRS, it was clear by then to Eatala that the cards may be crumbling for him. At this juncture, it is important to note that Eatala is not a small leader in Telangana anymore. He is a respectable leader who holds a considerable influence in the BC community in Telangana and also a key leader from Karimnagar district, which also includes his constituency, Huzurabad. Beyond KCR's family, until now, Eatala remained a very respectable leader in the party. While KCR may have played his game right in ousting Eatala from the party on land grabbing and other petty political charges, Eatala's exit from the TRS marks a key event in changing the Telangana's political landscape. Amidst such a storm brewing in Telangana, let's try and understand where political parties stand with respect to their strategies and upcoming elections in the next 2 years. First, let's consider Telangana Rashtra Samiti Party. If there is one man who knows how to play his cards right and at the right time, it is KCR. It is an undeniable fact that whether his moves are ethical or not, he tends to grasp trouble or remove obstacles from his way, completely changing the narrative always in his favor. With Eatala's exit, it is clear that KCR will not take any opposition lying down. This is also indirectly a message to the TRS cadre that anyone willing to ruffle feathers within the party against the party high command will not be spared. But one party's loss is another party's gain in politics. Therefore, by exposing its own internal battle, TRS has now become vulnerable. Not just that, but given that the party has 2 more years for elections, it needs to go beyond KCR's family and remind its leaders of the Telangana cause and the Telangana sentiment. On the other hand, TRS has been playing its cards cleverly with the BJP. At the central level, given that BJP needs TRS's support in the Rajya Sabha, the Pink Party has been supporting the Saffron Party, but at the state level, both the parties have been rivals. And this has been clear through Dubaka bypoll, GHMC elections, as well as Nagarjun Sagar bypolls. Additionally, within the state, the TRS needs to be on friendly terms with the MIM for its own political advantage. Interestingly, what TRS on and off does is, even though TDP hardly has a presence in Telangana, KCR time and again picks up Chandrababu Naidu and TDP as a subject and targets them whenever required. What this also indicates is KCR's indirect support to Jagan for his own advantage. Next, Let's consider the Bharatiya Janata Party. Given the weakening of the Congress and its internal party disorientation, as well as TDP's weakening, this has left a void for the BJP to enter Telangana and strengthen itself, perhaps on religious lines. With BJP winning the Dubaka by-poll and giving an equally tough fight in GHMC elections, the Saffron Party has clearly cemented its position as the opposition party in Telangana. With Eatala's exit, BJP has gained immensely as the leader has joined the Saffron Party. Not just that, but BJP will use this opportunity to project that Eatala has been betrayed by KCR family. The party will now look at every opportunity it gets to target KCR and his family. Though BJP's religious agenda may not really be its savior in Telangana, the party may use Congress and TDP's vote bank in the state. That was evident in the GHMC elections, and this could become a statewide trend for the BJP if both these parties do not up their game. Let's try and look at the Telugu Desam party now. TDP, fortunately, has shed its image as an Andhra party for now. But what the party actually needs to do right now is to try and look at ways to strengthen its vote bank. Given that TDP has always had a loyal cadre and still enjoys that in Telangana, the party needs to put strong leaders who will reflect the strength of the party's ideology along with attracting youth leaders. From announcing candidates constituency wise, choosing CM face along with strong spokespersons who will reflect the party's message in the media, the party needs to buckle up and prepare for the upcoming elections from now itself. This will not only boost the cadre's confidence, but it will also encourage them to increase the strength of the party and its vote bank in Telangana going further. But if it continues to neglect its Telangana wing and continues to neglect its communication and social media strategies going forward, TDP, despite having the strongest cadre, may lose its face eventually in the state where it was actually formed. Let's try and look at the Congress party in Telangana now. Now, it is a known fact that internal rivalries plague Congress as a party. Given that everyone assumes he or she is a CM candidate, it is very difficult for the party to actually stand as one. Despite having firebrand leaders like Revanth Reddy, the party is unable to use them well. In fact, the lack of strategy, every leader pitching themselves as a CM candidate, and complete disorientation within the party has shaken their ground, eventually leading to a loss of cadre. Their influence over the Reddy community is now slowly fading out as most of them have either joined TRS or are willing to move to the BJP. Whatever is the outcome, the party needs a decisive phase for Telangana if it wants to survive in the current political landscape. Let's look at MIM for now. The MIM has always had its agenda and ideology very clear. It is also a party that always supports the government in power. By focusing on Muslim vote bank, they have their messaging cut out for them. What lies ahead for this party is the development of older parts of Hyderabad. Though they have a considerable influence over old city areas, these areas have always remained underdeveloped and poor even after Hyderabad has progressed in different areas. Therefore, the party's responsibility doesn't just lie in winning seats in old city, but it also lies in developing these areas which still remain in the rut. Last but not the least, let's try and look at YS Sharmila's party and the timing of her political entry. As someone who doesn't even belong to the Telangana region and has no connection to the state whatsoever, YS Sharmila's entry into Telangana politics seems like a huge gamble. Some say it is likely to be KCR's strategy to gain the Christian and Reddy vote bank and keep a check to the BJP and the Congress, as the Reddy vote bank is likely to be split between these two national parties. On the other hand, given that KCR has not been making any negative comments on her party, it is clearly indicative that TRS has an inclination towards Sharmila's party. And therefore, the speculation of KCR himself supporting this party remains alive. Not just that, but while her party's existence is also indicative of KCR's support to Jagan, it is still a question on how YS Sharmila currently remains relevant in the current political scenario. Also, the timing of her entry into Telangana politics seems very off. Therefore, no one can really understand why or what the purpose of launching that party as well as the idea behind Rajana Rajyam is. Thank you for watching this video analysis. If you like it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, stay home and stay safe.